Hi, my name is Christy. I'm a psychotherapist at myTherapyNYC, and today I'm going to be talking about the relationship between depression and anxiety. Now, typically when we talk about depression and anxiety, we often think about their differences. Individuals who are in a depressed state, for example, may have low energy, feel hopeless, and just generally slowed down. Whereas anxiety is characterized by high stress, panic, racing thoughts, and feeling generally keyed up. And while these may seem like opposite experiences, the truth is that more than 60% of people with depression also report some symptoms of anxiety. So instead, it may actually be helpful to think about these experiences as not two separate states, but as two sides of the same coin. And the way we're going to do that today is by looking at depression and anxiety on a neurobiological level. Neurobiological meaning the way in which your brain and body communicate to protect you during times of stress. So the experiences of depression and anxiety are explained by some theorists as reactions to an overwhelmed nervous system. So when you are under stress, any kind of stress, your body may perceive your environment as unsafe. Now, our bodies have built-in systems for dealing with danger, and one of those systems is the fight and flight or sympathetic response. Now, you've maybe heard about fight and flight. It's an activated state in which your body prepares to take immediate action in the face of a threat. So from an evolutionary standpoint, of course, this is very useful. Our early human ancestors encountered all sorts of life and death situations, such as predators or inclement weather, and in those situations, they literally had to either fight danger or flee from danger. So that's where the sympathetic response kicks in. In this response, your heart rate increases, your muscles tense, your breathing may quicken, all in preparation to run or to fight. And even though we may very rarely experience the same level of danger as our early human ancestors, we still have this response. And consider those sympathetic features, feeling activated, tense, even quick, shallow breathing. Those are all symptoms associated with anxiety. But we also have other built-in responses, like our parasympathetic response or our freeze response. This is a state that gets triggered when there seems to be no use in running or in fighting. So it's a somewhat paralyzing response, sort of like an animal playing dead when a predator is nearby. And in the freeze response, you may have reduced movement, feel dissociated or sort of outside of your body, and feel just generally kind of numb, which, by the way, are all common symptoms of depression. So we have the fight and flight response, which looks a lot like anxiety, and the freeze response, which looks a lot like depression. And usually if you learn these concepts in your biology class, that's maybe the point where you stopped. There's actually one more element of this nervous system process we want to look at called social engagement. Social engagement occurs when you perceive your environment as safe, when you're able to reach out to others to get your needs met and engage with the world around you in a positive way. You might think of this as the times in which you feel like you're at your very best. And if you struggle with anxiety and depression, this is likely the state that you are trying to get back to. So why is it important to understand these concepts? Well, one of the common features of both depression and anxiety is a tendency towards self-blame. But by understanding this underlying process, you'll be better able to remember the most essential truth of all, that it's not your fault. For whatever reason, whether due to stress or trauma or even a biological predisposition, you're feeling unsafe, and your body is just doing whatever it can to protect you. And that means that what you're going through makes a lot of sense. Along with that, it's important to remember that fight and flight and freeze are not the only possible outcomes for you. Social engagement, that optimal functioning where you feel most like yourself, that's an essential part of your nervous system too. And with some help and some support along the way, it is entirely possible to live a life that feels safer. In the end, this whole fight, flight, and freeze idea is really just a different way to think about your experiences with depression and anxiety. By considering your distress with a sense of curiosity and acceptance rather than self-blame and judgment, you'll likely be better able to work towards finding relief. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any thoughts about what you just heard, please feel free to leave a comment on this blog post. And for more resources like this one, you can check out mytherapynyc.com.